E aí pessoal, beleza? Bom, hoje estou aqui para mais um vídeo da série de Genshin Impact. Vamos continuar, né? Se você quiser ver essa série desde o início, eu vou deixar um card aqui em cima. E, se puder, se inscrever no canal e ativar o sininho, ajuda demais. Bom, pera aí, mulher. Vamos aqui, fiz missão diária aí, ó. Vamos pegar aqui os prêmios. Esse aqui também eu fiz. E vamos seguir a missão de ontem, né? Que é essa daí, o Acordo de Kirite. Faça uma visita aos descendentes das copas. Um encontro inesperado te pega assim que você está planejando ir à morada do ancião Trinidad. A gente conversou ontem com o ancião. O Kirite cobrou para fazer o ritual lá. Cobrou muito caro. E nós não cobramos nada, a verdade é essa. Eita, que doideira é essa? Então vamos ajudar o Trinidad lá. Só que, pelo que o jogo falou, vai ter algum encontro aqui. É o Kirite aí ali, ó. Ele tava espreitando a gente lá no último vídeo, no final do último vídeo. Tava de butuca lá. O que foi, cara? O que foi? Tá lesionado ainda? Né?
Traveler, Paimon.
E aí?
Fancy meeting you here. We've actually been looking for you.
Olá.
I'll get straight to the point. I hear you accepted a proposal from Elder Trinidad.
Vou fazer porque você não quer. A verdade é essa.
Oh, the Turnfire Knight, you mean? You were still his first choice. It's just... Oh, jeez.
Chill, it's cool. I only mention it because there's something you should know. And I suspect Elder Trinidad hasn't been completely forthcoming with you. His true intention is to resolve the Mountain King problem once and for all.
Once and for all? You mean this'll be the last Turnfire Knight ever?
That's right. He wants to use you to send the Mountain King to the Night Kingdom.
Disso eu não sabia.
To the Night Kingdom? You mean...
To his death.
Whoa, are you serious right now? You shouldn't go blurting out accusations like that. It could get you in trouble.
Too blunt? Okay. I'll phrase it more gently. There is potentially a possibility that Elder Trinidad may be hoping that during the court...
But that's ridiculous! He told us the Mountain King is a living...
And that glory comes at a price.
Oh, that's right. The Mountain King is a living symbol of our glory, but even this glory yes, and Nana wasn't the first.
O abismo que tá no... poder do abismo que tá no Rei da Montanha lá já causou muito problema. Aí o Trinidad quer acabar de uma vez por todas com isso aí. Mas ele vai matar o bicho lá, né? Será que não dá pra curar, não? Sua companheira
She
Nana.
likely won't be the last to lose her life either.
A Nana é aquela mãe dos 3 dragãozinho lá que a gente teve que encontrar no vídeo ontem.
Still, is killing the Mountain King really the only way? It seems so extreme.
Como ele pretende matar o rei?
The Mountain King is a unique case when it comes to abyssal contamination. It's eaten away at him for so long that it has consumed him entirely, and the
Então ferrou,
damage
hein?
is irreversible. That evil power has both driven him insane and kept him alive over the centuries. So, to look at it one way, once it's completely purged... In past ceremonies, we've only purged around half of the abyssal power. This was to strike a balance. To keep him alive...
Trinidad didn't say anything about how much power he wanted us to purge, but he did say there were some more details to go over before the ceremony.
Then it sounds like you'll know for sure soon enough.
If he really asks us to kill the Mountain King, what should we do?
Acho que estamos em uma encrenca.
I know this must come as quite a shock, so I suggest you act like you didn't hear anything for now. But would you have time to visit the chief after your meeting with Elder Trinidad? I'd like to make a deal with you.
What kind of deal?
One that comes at a very reasonable price. I'm sure you have plenty of other questions, but we can talk more later.
Nos vemos lá.
Good.
Acho que aqui inicia a missão do Kinich, a missão lendária dele. Aqui quer ver, ó. É aqui que vê? Não, não é aqui. Quer ver? Deixa eu só dar uma olhada aqui, ó. Aí, ó. É isso aí, ó. É exatamente. A gente já completou as duas primeiras. Agora estamos na missão do Kinich. Missão lendária dele. Igual a gente fez a missão lendária da outra garota lá, né? Dessa aqui, né? Que eu esqueci o nome dela. Moalani, né? A gente fez a missão dela. Agora é a missão dele. Vamos lá. Vá para a casa do ancião Trinidad. Então a gente tem que chegar lá. Não pode deixar ele saber o que a gente descobriu agora com o Kinich aí, né? Vamos ver o que ele vai falar. Fala comigo, cara.
Ah, mighty Outlanders, you have returned.
It was,
Glad to hear it. Things are progressing very smoothly on my end. Many of the elders have heard of your heroic deeds, including the chief. There are still
Eu sou
those who
espetacular.
insist that the ceremony should be performed by the bearer of the Malipo name. But they're just stuck in the past.
plus, Kanish doesn't want to do it anyway.
Exactly. So, now, it's time for us to We covered the fire lighting part of the proceedings yesterday. The next part is the purification of the Mountain King.
Como isso vai funcionar?
It's quite simple. You just need to use the sacred flame. We've done it plenty of times before, and it's always very routine. I'm sure you won't have any problems. One point I'd like to stress, though, is that you need to burn away as much of the abyssal energy as you possibly can. The more we dispel, the longer the Mountain King will remain asleep.
Mas antes eles faziam só metade para manter ele vivo. Se fizer tudo, acho que ele vai morrer, porque o que mantém ele vivo é o poder do abismo.
Asleep, huh?
Precisely. In previous years, the Flamebearer has often been unable to dispel a sufficient amount of abyssal energy. That's the only reason why. But I understand that you have a lot of experience fighting against the Abyss, and you seem to wield the sacred flame quite effortlessly yesterday. With your help, I'm optimistic this time we can dispel all the remaining abyssal energy from the Mountain King's body.
Traveler?
Preciso saber mais alguma coisa?
So this doesn't faze you at all, huh? You clearly have a lot of That's all you really need to know? The ceremony's in 3 days. I'll come and fetch you when we're ready. In the meantime, feel free to take a look around our settlement. It would mean a lot to the elders if you wouldn't mind helping them out with a few errands here and there.
So now we have extra errands to run? Maybe we should add a little extra to the price.
Just a humble suggestion, that's all. It will help you gain the respect of our people, and as a mighty hero, I'll be sticking around for the next few days. So if you have any questions, you know where to...
Seems like Kanish
Tá
was
bom.
right. We should go meet up with him right away.
Se encontre com Kinich. Wayna é o chefe. Kinich tá ali também.
Huh, you're here.
Kanish, Elder Trinidad said that.
I can tell. It's written on your faces.
Is that the traveler in Paimon? Forgive me for not being there to welcome you on your arrival. That
É
should have
nóis,
been my
cara.
duties.
Hello, Chief Wayna.
I only heard the news from Trinidad yesterday, so I asked Kinich to invite you over for a quick chat.
É nóis.
I believe Kinich has already filled you in, so I'll get straight to the point. Firstly, I fully endorse your appointment as flame bearers for the upcoming Turnfire. However, I would like to request that you take steps to ensure the Mountain King's safety. Every child of our tribe grows up hearing the tales of our heroes. From Yupanqui the Firebringer, to Burkina and the Mountain King who fought. This is our history and our heritage, the source of our pride and the center of our faith.
Vamos ver se vai dar, né?
To kill the Mountain King would be to destroy our spirit. Nana's death was a great tragedy, and I do not blame Trinidad for the actions he has taken. Nevertheless, I cannot allow any harm to come to the Mountain King. My honored guests, please give this matter your serious consideration.
Não há solução que satisfaça ambos os lados? O ideal seria curar ele, né? Curar 100%. O Rei da Montanha lá, que aí ficaria de boa.
Perhaps there is. But despite all our attempts to contain the situation over the years, we've not found it. Right now, I should like to hear where you stand on this matter.
Pai, vamos fugir. Olha, eu não quero matar o grandão lá não. Que ele já foi um herói, né? Lutando ao lado do amigo dele lá. Então, eu estou inclinado a honrar o seu pedido. Não quero matar o cara lá não. O Rei da
Though I sense
Montanha.
that your mind is not yet made up, I'm still comforted by your words. There are 3 days left before the ceremony.
So, Kanich, earlier you were saying that...
Let's walk and talk. I'll show you around the
That works too. Paimon needs to get some air after this.
Tô a fim de matar o grandão lá não, é? Mas é aquilo, se não tiver como, se na hora ali der tudo errado,
Kanich,
ou uma ameaça muito
Paimon
grande,
finally understands
como é que
why you
faz?
turned Trinidad down. You knew what he was planning, didn't you? That's why you didn't want to be the flame bearer this time, because it's a double-edged sword. The whole...
double-edged sword is right. But my response wasn't merely an excuse. To solve this exceptional problem, an exceptional price must be paid.
Você tá dizendo que tem um plano?
I'm working on it.
Really? Well, come on then, let's...
In a moment. Didn't you have a question you were about to...
Oh, yeah. What was it again? Oh, right. We need to talk about how he's completely unhinged.
Chatão ele. Onde ele tá?
I agree that he has a problem. He needs disciplining, so I hired him a teacher.
You got him a teacher? Oh, Paimon would love to see him get scolded for... Anyway, moving on. When we ran into a how, he said you two were investigating some abyss thing together.
Yes, that's the angle I've been working on. I'm a Saurian hunter, but I occasionally hunt the abyss too. One time I was pursuing some purple demonic dogs when I
Cachorro.
accidentally entered a hidden space. I did some research after the fact. Apparently they're known as beastly rifts, and there are many of them of all different sizes. That's where those So, if we can locate one of these beastly rifts, clear the monsters out, and move the Mountain King inside, he'd be able to continue living. But without...
Whoa, that sounds kinda crazy.
It's not without its risks, of course. There's a lot of unknowns in the equation. For instance, for all we know, a prolonged period inside the rift Still, we desperately need something like this, even just as a temporary measure. You've seen the conflict the issue is causing in our tribe for yourselves, and believe me, the chief is adamant about keeping the Mountain King alive. Whatever happens.
Paimon can understand. It's less about the Mountain King and more about preserving your...
Yes, but on the flip side, you've got people like Elder Trinidad, who is more concerned about protecting the people he cares, and he has every right to take that view. It's one thing to try and preserve the last remnants of a glorious past, but making your kin pay... No one can seriously tell them that's a fair trade.
You're right. There's no easy answers here. Let's leave that to one side for a moment and assume we go with your plan. How do you actually... Because at least in our experience, the dogs open the rifts when they want to attack us, not the other way around.
I think I know a way.
Você vai mesmo fazer isso?
You have any better ideas?
Not at the moment, but it just feels like using the power of the Abyss for our own ends isn't gonna end well. After all, the Abyss is what turned the Mountain King into a monster in the first place. People are gonna think you've lost your marble.
If it doesn't end well, then that's the price we pay. Everything in the world comes at a price. Even when you pawn key, the Mountain King's erratic outbursts have brought tensions within the tribe to a boiling point. Unless this gets resolved quickly, everyone will be stuck in a stalemate.
All right. So what's this deal you wanted to make with us? We're hardly experts on exploiting abyssal power.
All I need you to do is keep people away from me. I'm getting harassed on a daily basis by people trying to convince me to be the flame bearer. I can't afford to waste all my energy dealing with them. If you help me out, there'll be a gift for you in return.
Ooh, what kind of gift?
Something well worth your while, I'd say.
Como vamos manter as pessoas afastadas?
Just keep doing what you've been doing. Integrate yourself with the tribespeople, so everyone comes to terms with the fact that that way, I won't have an endless stream of people coming to beg me to join the ceremony, and I can focus on finding a way to summon the beastly rip. Then, when the day of the ceremony comes, we'll move the Mountain King into his new home.
Still sounds pretty crazy. Even for a daredevil like you, that's dangerous. And even if it works, what if neither Chief Wayna nor Elder Trinidad are happy with it? Have you thought about what—
At least the two of them would finally be on the same side of the issue, leaving only me on the opposing side. The tribe needs leaders like them far more than a Saurian hunter for hire like me.
Parece que você não vai ganhar Mora. É.
Can I take that to mean that we have a deal?
For
Sim.
sure. And who knows? Maybe we'll come up with an even better solution to—
Great. Well, for the next couple of days, please spend some time among the tribe and lend a hand wherever you can. I'm sure everyone will be swept off their feet when they— Good luck to us both.
Tá, então o povo precisa saber quem a gente é para que não fiquem enchendo o saco do Kinish. Na verdade é essa. Caminhe pela tribo no dia seguinte. Então a gente vem aqui. 8 horas que o jogo falou, né? Mas tipo, o dia seguinte não é aqui, é? Não, tem que ser dia seguinte mesmo. É 8 horas mesmo? É. O Kit era o portador, ele não vai ser. Só que o povo ficava atrás dele para que ele pudesse ser o portador. Agora que nós somos o portador, o povo vai deixar o Kit para lá. Ele vai ficar livre para bolar o plano lá, fazer o plano certinho.
Okay, task for the day. Meet the tribespeople and take some heat off of Kenichi's back.
É os dois aí. E os filhotes lá, como é que tá?
Pony, how can you call the Mountain King a
Because he hurt a lot of people. And look what happened to
But it wasn't on purpose. The Mountain King is sick.
That's true. But the fact remains that he's now a threat to all of us.
How can you be so harsh to someone who's sick? If you don't take back what you just—
Toba, Huni, what's wrong?
Pony's saying nasty things about the Mountain King. It's not right.
Once upon a time, maybe. But not anymore.
Vocês não são melhores amigos?
Yesterday, maybe, but
Toba? Fine. I guess my dad is right. Things change, and you just— As of today, our friendship is over. There's no— Oh, come on, cut it out, you two. We have some great news to tell you. The Traveler is gonna be the flame bearer for the next Turnfire night. He's gonna do a beautiful ceremony and cure the Mountain King.
what? Really?
Essas coisas são comigo mesmo.
So that's what my dad wanted to talk to you about? To be fair, from what we saw the other day, you are pretty good at climbing cliffs. Probably just as good as Kanich.
Wait, speaking of Kanich,
Cadê o malandro?
Oh yeah, good question. Is he not coming to this? We can get him to come, but if he catches you two fighting again, he won't be happy. He'll be sure to give you both a piece of his mind.
no, we can't let that happen. I've never even spoken to him before. I can't afford to make—
I didn't mean to argue with Toba. All he said was that the Mountain King has done some pretty bad things. He was the one who turned it into a fight.
Claramente vocês se importam um com o outro. O Rei da Montanha não pode mudar isso.
Yeah, if you weren't friends, there's no way Toba would have come to look for the baby Saurian. All right. Well, because it's the Traveler and Paimon and Kanich, Dad just really misses Nana. And I was really upset that she's gone, too.
Huh? Oh. I shouldn't have spoken to you the way I did either. It wasn't very nice of me. For the Traveler and
That's more like it. Now you're best friends again. Guess so. Toba, if I ever say something mean about the Mountain King in the future, I'll make sure I say it to someone else. I'd better go buy
Ay.
some colored cloth for my dad now. He needs it for Turnfire night. Let's play again some other time. See you, Toba. See you, Traveler and
Falou.
Okay. I'll head home as well then.
Falou.
Okay, take care, you two. Even though they said they're sorry, it looks like their friendship isn't as
Os
strong
tempos
as
estão
it was
mudando.
Let's just hope we can solve this once and for all. Come on, let's move on.
Bora.
Huh? What's going on over there? Let's take a look. Hey there! What's happening here?
A rehearsal for the Turnfire Night dance.
Ooh, there's a dance involved? Kinda wants to learn
You don't know it? Ah, I guess you're not from these parts, huh? It's rare to see a new face around the tribe these days. I thought everyone...
why do you say that?
Because of the Turnfire Night, of course. The Mountain King could wake up at any time. That's why we're holding an emergency ceremony. This isn't one of those fun and games festivals. For outsiders, it might even be a little...
Well, did you know that the Flame Bearer this time is actually gonna be...
Oh, I did hear about that. It's a first for sure. I would have loved to meet them in person.
Sou eu.
What? Oh, it's you? It's funny. I was just thinking that I'll probably miss out on meeting the new Flame Bearer since I'm not taking part this time around. Then suddenly, there you are.
You're not taking part in the Turnfire Night? How come? You're not an outsider, too.
You must be joking. Watch.
Muito demais.
Not bad, right? Yeah, I'm considered one of the better-looking guys who dances beneath the pillars of the sacred flame. Been doing it a few years. Always gets the...
Entendi.
Very impressive. So why'd you quit?
Well, I feel like the whole Mountain King situation is getting more and more precarious. It's just not safe here anymore. One of our elders' Saurian companions even lost her life not long ago. The question
Tô
is,
ligado.
what are we gonna do about this in the long term? But our leaders don't have any answers for us. They're probably too busy fighting about it amongst themselves. The way things are going, it's only a matter of time before it gets violent. So I figured, you know what? Now's as good a time as any to get away for a little while. Go do some exploring.
You look a little disappointed.
Disappointed? Nah. It's a great opportunity to go see the world. As every male scion of the canopy knows, wherever you are and wherever you go, the only way is forwards. We take pride in that. I won't forget my roots.
Qual o seu plano para o próximo passo?
I managed to get in touch with the Saurian Relics Association. They gave me a simple test. Find a decent quality relic.
What's the Saurian Relics Association?
You've never heard of it? It's a group of amateur history enthusiasts who do research on the ancient Saurian era. They're all about collecting relics and remnants from that age. Speaking of which, the guy who was Flamebearer before you, I've heard that his Saurian buddy comes from that time.
A how? A how's a relic from an ancient Saurian civilization?
O amigão do Kinnit.
Oh, yeah, him. So you know those two already, huh? Then, do you know how they met? It was deep inside some mysterious ruin, and they signed a contract there. The association folks say that the kind of contract usually comes with a huge hidden cost.
Really? That sounds ominous.
Who knows? But if it's true, Kanich can probably handle it. He knows what he's doing with weighing up contracts and costs and stuff. I doubt he'd make a contract that doesn't benefit him. Strangely enough, I actually happened upon a strange mural a while back, and it looked to me like it was depicting a Saurian and a human involved in some kind of Saurian-era contract ritual.
Oh, does that count as a relic then?
You bet it does. I was all ready to go take a picture of it and use it as my entry ticket to the association. But after all the abyssal activity recently, I heard that area's been overrun by monsters. The best laid plans, huh? I'll just have to wait and see if things improve. Or... you look like you know your way around a fight. I don't suppose there's any chance...
If all you need to get is a picture, that should be pretty achievable, right? The Traveler deals with monsters all the time. It's a...
Wait, you're seriously gonna help me out?
Mas é claro.
It's no big deal. Compared to some of the things we've been roped into before, this is...
Pyro Archon above. You two have hearts of gold, you know that? You're the kind of people who could dive into the Turnfire deep in the bowels of the Night Kingdom, and it wouldn't burn a single hair off your head.
Muito obrigado.
Of course it is. All right, come with me.
Vamos ajudar o povo. Enquanto isso, esqueçam o Kinite, tá bom? Tá bom, povo? Eu sou o portador. Deixa o Kinite pra lá. Tá ali. E bicho. Ué? Ah,
There it is. It's inside these ruins. As you can see, the place is crawling with monsters.
Alrighty then. Stay back and take cover, Tiago. This could get
Tiago?
dangerous.
Great minds think alike.
agora que eu vi que o nome dele é Thiago.
I'm not about to cramp your style.
Falou, Thiago, é nóis, hein? Lendário. Solidify. Cadê o Osvaldo? Olha ele aí.
That should be the last of them. It's a good thing Tiago had the sense to stay in his hiding place, or things could have...
Cadê
Hey,
ele?
look! That's gotta be it, right? Definitely looks like a mural.
É pequeno. Aqui é aquele dinossauro.
True. Now that you mention it, most ancient murals take up a whole huge wall. This looks more like someone with a paintbrush got bored and started doodling.
Tu não foi uma armadilha não que a gente caiu?
It does match the story he told us, though. There's a Saurian and a human. So, whatever. We're not here to decipher it. Just photograph it.
Será que não tá tirando o nosso tempo não aqui de propósito? Vou salvar.
That's a wrap. Let's take it back to Tiago.
E aí?
You've been robbed? Oh, Ponche. And I thought my luck was bad.
I put blood, sweat, and tears into that, and now I've got nothing to show for it. Some gap-toothed...
Quer ajuda, cara?
Tiago, is this the picture you were looking for?
Let me take a look. Yep, that's the one. Hey, Ponche, come and say hi to these guys. They're gonna be the new flame bearers.
Wait, are you the traveler? And
Huh?
Sim.
You already...
I don't think.
my nephew Toba's been telling everyone about you. He says you're crazy strong, super friendly, that you helped him out, and that you're gonna be our flame bearers this Turnfire night.
Aquele garotinho.
Oh, so you're Toba's uncle. Great to meet. Sounds like we managed to make a bit of a name for ourselves.
Toba's not wrong, my friend. These two are honestly some of the nicest, most genuine people I've ever met. Everyone speaks incredibly highly of them.
Really? All I want is to get the
Allow me to explain. Ponche is a well-known scholar within our tribe, author of the widely acclaimed book, Yupanqui's Turnfire.
I spent years of my life researching that book. I visited every last ruin, interviewed every descent. On the word Malipo alone, I covered at least 5 different interpretations of the meaning based on accounts.
It was an unparalleled masterpiece.
And now it's all
Impressionante.
gone. That little goon ambushed me during my morning walk. He snatched all of my belongings, including my entire manuscript.
That book was everything to him. It's like they robbed him of his soul when they took it. Look at him. Lost and listless.
Dear honored guests of our clan, I am but a helpless old student.
Onde você foi roubado?
See what I mean, Ponche? Now you've run into these two, your luck's about to change.
I don't know if he's still there, but
Vamos ajudar, vamos ajudar. Bora pegar esse ponto de teleporte. Enquanto isso, esqueçam o Kinite. Esqueçam ele.
hey, you thieving rat!
What do you want now, you old bum? God, you're a waste of space. Prepare to get shoved butt first
Matias, 8 mãos? Eu te desafio a tentar.
Oh, what's this? Brought a little bodyguard with you, huh? Eat dirt, suckers!
Olha só que danado.
Hey, he's trying to get away! You good? Let's chase him down!
Swallow fury! Stop, please! By all the warriors, heroes, gods, and kings, I can't run any longer. Please, I don't have your stuff anymore.
Oh yeah? Well, where is it then?
I threw it away.
Que isso, cara?
You threw it away?
The old bum's bag didn't have a single mora in it. Just a tatty old book, worn out pens, and all that time lying in wait was for nothing.
Is that really the truth?
The same place you found me. Look, I swear on the Pyro Archon, it's the truth. May all my worldly...
Okay, that's a pretty strong oath. What do we do now? It sounds like he's telling the truth.
Vamos ter que levar ele junto com a gente. Vamos voltar para ver se conseguimos encontrar algo.
Right. Let's hope nobody gets to the book before we do.
Vamos ter que levar o cara junto. Em uma caverna escondida. Desceu o Kinite, né?
Although the Turnfire is a heroic symbol in Huitzatlan, it always comes with the more ominous implication of event. This holds true for all bearers of this ancient name in recorded history. Each one of them died of non-natural causes. This appears to suggest the existence of some higher power that is always watching the name-bearer, examining their actions, and eventually demanding payment in return. None can escape Yupanki's Turnfire. What an incredible work on ancient name philology. I can't believe it was just lying there for me to take.
Enfim, o livro do cara daquele cara aí.
Let me see. The author is...
Silence, book muncher. The great Kahula will suffer your
Do you truly find no joy at all?
joy. What joy is there in the...
Well, it makes a pretty shocking prediction. Every bearer of the ancient name Malipo eventually meets a grisly end.
What? You're saying Kenichi will die a violent death? So I'll finally get... When will that glorious day arrive? The great Kahula...
Calma, cara.
Wow, you are just irredeemable, aren't you? An agent of chaos down to the core. You make...
Verdade.
Silence, maggot! To presume that anyone compares your kind with the great Kahula is sheer vanity. And if...
You don't need to lecture me about doomsday. Here's what I know. All civilizations will be reduced to rubble by the passage of time. From ancient kingdoms to heavenly thrones. But from the ruins of every civilization, the dust will rise and never settle, thus transcending the confines of... And you, great Kahula How, are one such speck of dust from a bygone age. I've paid... Now, let me take a good look at you. We'll see whether any memories of that...
O livro tá com o cara lá, ferrou, velho.
We're so sorry, Mr. Ponche, but we couldn't find your manuscript anyway.
Does that mean all of my heart?
You gotta stay positive, Ponche. You might have lost the book, but the brains behind it are still intact.
The whole reason I worked so hard to get it finished before the Turnfire night is because I hoped that maybe it might help us find a way through these trying times.
Você resolveu o problema do Rei da Montanha?
Well, not exactly, but I thought my research might at least be a starting point.
Oh, really? So what did you find out in your research?
I think the key to all of this lies in the power of Malipo.
Ponche, you know as well as anyone that ancient names don't hold any real power. Symbolic power doesn't count.
You're right, but Malipo may be a special case. Given that it first arose in the era of the first Pyro Archon, it might contain remnants of Shiba.
Yeah, I remember that story. My grandpa told it to me when I was a little kid. Maybe you're the special case. Most kids stop believing in that stuff by your age.
I'm not talking about childhood superstitions here. They're
Like what?
like the fact that the Mountain King is still alive. Everyone attributes that to the power of the Abyss. But there's more to it
Como
than
assim?
that. The key factor is that Burkina summoned the power of Malipo at the cost of his own life. If you don't believe me, then answer me this. How many other creatures can you think of who lived longer, not shorter?
Traveler, different situation but similar idea. Doesn't this remind you of the hilly...
So, I came to the conclusion that Malipo must refer to some mysterious ritual involving a tit-for-tat exchange. It began with the first Pyro Archon, fell with the Grand Alliance, then was buried in the Night Kingdom. And now...
Hey. Sorry to interrupt, Ponche, but you seem to be
I'm sorry. I was originally planning on presenting my findings to Kinich. I'd hoped he would be attending the upcoming ceremony.
Sounds to me like you dreamed up one fanciful theory to support another.
Kinich, what are you doing here?
I more or less finished what I was doing, so I came to have a quick catch-up. Now a good time?
Cara, o seu prisioneiro lá tá com o livro, hein?
Kinich! I'm onto something. I haven't worked out all the details, but you...
So Mr. Ponche here has done a lot of research on the history of the Turnfire, and thinks he might have found a way for you to solve the...
I'll be there, Ponche. Let's go.
Pega o livro de volta. Vá para um canto e converse com o Kinich. Pelo jeito deu tempo dele resolver os negócios que ele tinha que resolver, né?
Quit following me.
Vamos ver.
Here will do.
Você encontrou uma forma de invocar a fenda?
Yeah. I'd like your help giving it a trial run tomorrow. If that works, we have our plan come turn...
Sounds like you're not considering Ponche's idea.
You heard him. He hasn't worked out the details yet. We need a more practical solution with concrete steps to follow.
Yet? Are you saying you think he might actually be onto something?
I think it's possible, based on something I know about the war 500 years ago. Burkina didn't fall to the Abyss. He was killed by the Mountain King in an episode of madness. In his final moments, Burkina made the fateful decision to not fight back, and instead pass his blood and power on to the Mountain King.
Entendi. Tá aí a nossa Tambem. Então ele matou. Lógico que ele tava possuído pelo abismo, né?
Maybe he thought the Mountain King was stronger than him and more valuable to the tribe. Or maybe it was just out of loyalty to his friend. Either way, I can believe the Turnfire was involved. Whether you think his sacrifice triggered it, or his fate was sealed from the moment he took the Malipo name, it makes sense.
How can you drop these truth bombs with such a straight face?
This is what I've gleaned from my many interactions with the Mountain King. His mind is so disordered. It took some time to piece it all together. The story Elder Trinidad told you was the more palatable version of events. The truth is even dark. The Mountain King's mind isn't just disordered. He is suffering and feels great shame. I believe he wants to be put out of his misery.
What? Then what should we do?
Of course not. We should help him move to a new home.
Então o objetivo não mudou.
It's the only practical solution. The Mountain King is a hero to my tribe. An object of worship, even. Ending his life would be like desecrating a statue. Still, he's been the cause of multiple disasters, and we can't afford to have any more.
Ugh. Practical solutions hurt Paimon's brain. Can we follow our hearts next time?
Then let's break for the day. I've already found a suitable venue for tomorrow.
Espere até o próximo dia. E aí, bicho? O plano continua o mesmo, né? Mas descobriu um detalhe importante. Burkina deixou o Rei da Montanha matar ele. Ou seja, deixou o mascote dele matar ele. Vá e se encontre com Kinichi. Tá aqui. Talvez isso aqui que ela demore um pouco. E o tempo do vídeo já tá, né? Ok. Vamos só pegar essa recompensa de tribo que tá aqui do lado. E amanhã a gente segue. Tá bom? Aqui no caso é a missão do Kinichi. E aí? Eu gostaria disso aqui. Temos coisa aqui, ó. Visitante misterioso. Ritual de um herói. Temos recompensa aqui. Que é isso? Aqui não tem nada. E pronto. É isso, galera. Amanhã a gente volta e segue, tá bom? Deixa eu levar pra lá, porque missão diária eu faço lá, né? Missão diária eu faço aqui. É isso. Amanhã a gente volta. Eu vou girar no banner, tá bom? Mas deve ser no máximo 30 giros, que eu não tô juntando muito rápido, né? Mas deve dar pra eu chegar no 30, até porque acho que faltam alguns dias ali pra atualizar aquela loja da Paimon, né? Quer ver, ó? Pro banner sair, pra mim aqui faltam 15 dias. A loja da Paimon vai atualizar daqui a 7 dias, então vai dar pra comprar aqui, né? Aí, acredito que a gente vai ter 30 giros pra fazer aqui. Estou com 22. Tentar pegar o Kinichi aí, vamos ver se vai dar, né? E aqui eu tô com 4. É isso, amanhã a gente volta. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Se puder, deixar o like, muito obrigado. E até o próximo vídeo.